Hey everybody, happy Monday. Happy Monday. It's Motivation Monday. So I say that I have a semi-rant number 2. My semi-rant number 1 was last week about don't do this if you sell a product. I won't go into that, but why do I say semi-rant? Because it's not like a big vicious rant. That energy, I want nothing to do with that rant energy. Do you ever notice that like out in the world right now, people get so many attention and so many views from ranting? Like, ooh, someone's pissed off. Let me go and see what happens. Like, I'm telling you, like, I just don't want to do that. I don't want to have that energy. So I say semi-rant because I say all this with love, and I say this, to be helpful and to like spark some conversation and some thinking, not to sit here and bitch. Like, I don't rant. I don't do like, rah, 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 rah. I can't stand when this happens. And I just saw this comedian, I think he's a Massachusetts guy because he sounds like it. What's his Angry Vic or whatever? The guy who goes off like on things in his life, fuck, like he'll just like go off. And I'm like, I get stressed out just watching you, my friend. So I'm going to shut this shit off. And if you like Angry Vic or whoever he is, this is no judgment, no criticism. Like, you have to watch what makes you laugh. But oh my gosh, like that kind of stuff like gets my stress level up. So this is like a semi-rant that's just loving, you know what I mean? Just an idea, because I saw a post, I think it was last week, by a wonderful friend of mine, Allie Dawn Plyler, right? I've never said her last name out loud, so I was like, is that even right, Allie, if you're watching? If you don't know her, check her out. She's a wonderful soul who's doing amazing work. And she was talking about coaches charging high ticket packages. So we're talking like $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 packages to have courses, to do private one-on-one coaching, all of these things, right? And is that the right thing to do? Is it right to charge like really high ticket packages? And if people, our clients or potential clients, say that that's not for them, then to kind of hound the potential client and say things like, oh, you just don't know your own worth, or you have to be willing to invest in yourself, or, it's just your mindset, or, whatever. And y'all know what I'm getting at. So, and is that the right thing to do? Because there are people out there who truly need coaching. For me, I know coaching has been a hugely transformative part of my life. If I didn't have coaches at certain points, I don't know if I would have been able to get through things by myself. I mean, we don't have to go through life's problems alone, nor do I think should we have to, right? We're community beings. We are supportive beings, and we don't have to go on this journey alone. And I find life coaches and business coaches and any kind of coaches to be extremely, extremely helpful, because that's what they do, is they help you to get your breakthrough, your transformation, and pull things out of you that sometimes you can't see. Right? Sometimes we can't see our own greatness. We're too into our own heads. We're into our old stories, and we need somebody to kind of help us to work our way out of it. And that's where a coach can come in and do that. There are other coaches who do other things. Like if you're building a business, who know how to help you come up with a strategy to get you to your next level. So, the question is it right? Do coaches charge too much? Do they the high ticket packages, is it just wrong? Or is truly, is there an issue? Is that just one of those things where, it's just meant for people who are able to pay these high prices? I said on a comment in that post that sometimes that's a strategy that's taught that I'm not particularly fond of, and I've worked with coaches like this who have asked their clients to charge really high ticket packages right out of the gate. So sometimes I feel like this is a marketing method. It's not so much what a coach really should be charging. If you're just starting, some coaches will teach you to charge these high ticket prices because you come up with a money amount that you want to make. They ask you to come up with the money amount, and then, okay, so we got to come up with these high ticket packages. Oh, do you want to have a certain workload per week or how many hours you work? Okay, then you need to charge a higher ticket so that you can have, less hours to work and more income for the month. And the problem with that is, if somebody is just starting, a lot of times here's the thing, when you're a client, you have to know who would be your ideal coach, and when you're a coach, you have to know who your ideal client is. Because if you're looking for a coach, you need to look for somebody who can teach you what you need to know, but is not that far ahead of you. And I don't mean that in a condescending way, like ahead of you, like they're better. I just mean like they're a little bit further on the journey than you, but they have the ability to remember really like fresh in their mind what it was like to be where you are, so that they can teach you and talk about what they've been through, what they've gone through, and help you to break through in the same way, right? So if you are looking to build a business from home and you're looking to be a coach and you're just starting and you're not sure, you haven't done this before, you're not sure about who you want to coach, you're not sure who your ideal client is or what your gifts are that you're going to share, you're going to be hard pressed to go out there and charge a $5,000 package. I don't care how good the coach is at teaching strategy. I don't care if they've, had clients who have gotten 5-6 figure months as a result. They might be too far ahead of you, because I guarantee you're going to still need to do some mindset work to wrap your head around charging that kind of money, because you have to be so confident in, and I don't mean don't take action though, like don't think that you need to still take action and get yourself out there, but you need to understand who you are serving, what their problems are, and how you can solve them, and feel good about that. It has to be something that you actually are interested in helping people with too, before you can go out and confidently market yourself. And sometimes it's okay. Like, I don't want my clients to charge an amount that they're not comfortable with, that their subconscious is going to pull them back, so they will just sabotage themselves every time. Unless your money mindset is on point and you are just really in tune with who you are and what you stand for and who you're here to serve, you are going to sabotage yourselves. And I don't agree when coaches kind of push their clients to charge these huge amounts of money for their programs just to make the money and just to hit a goal and just to get to the, get that result. It will come with time. And if you are on the right path and pursuing your true passion, purpose, and in your gifts and really living from your heart space, the money is going to eventually come. But that may mean that you need to find a comfort zone in the beginning that you can go out there and confidently speak about to charge your clients. And that's okay. It's not a bad thing. It doesn't mean you don't believe in yourself and you don't think you're worthy. It doesn't mean that you are just, sabotaging yourself. It doesn't mean that you're never going to break through. It doesn't mean that you're, really not, not putting the effort into it and you're not committed. It just means you're finding your way, and that's okay. You need to be able to go and get your confidence, okay? Your soul-aligned confidence. So sometimes that can mean finding a price point that you can talk about and feel comfortable with, and that's okay. I don't care if it's $100 a month at first. It's okay, because I guarantee you, once you start coaching clients and once you start, or you release that course, that Facebook group, that membership group, whatever you're doing, and you get the confidence from doing the thing, the confidence comes in the doing, not in the thinking so much. That's part of it. You have to, do your soul work and do your inner work and really come up with a strategy and a clear picture of, okay, who's my ideal client and who am I going to serve and how am I going to help them get their breakthroughs? But you have to do it. You have to do the thing. And I'm telling you, there are some coaches out there, if you really dig into their past stories, they're out there making 7 figures right now. In the beginning, they were sitting at their local library doing courses for free. I remember one coach, maybe it's Suzanne Evans, who said she sat in Whole Foods and did free coaching, like sit down, like, Lucy and Charlie Brown, the doctor is in, sit down, do coaching, okay? Like, they had those kind of like really low ticket beginnings. And guess what? They ended up building their confidence and moving to those 6-7 figure levels. But they started somewhere, and that's okay. It doesn't mean you aren't good enough. It doesn't mean you're sabotaging yourself. It doesn't mean you're not going to move forward. It doesn't mean you're shortchanging yourself. Some cases it might do that, right? Some cases people do that. And that means you need a coach who can help you with strategy and mindset. I've worked with coaches who some coaches are awesome at mindset, and they can totally, that's their gift and that's their zone of genius. So they can help you with your money mindset. They can help you with your confidence mindset. They can help you with, whatever it is. Some coaches, strategy is their jam. So they can help you market your business and get a social media presence and take your business to the next level. Some coaches are good at both. So you need to know exactly what you need, right? And I think coaches need to be a little bit more honest with themselves about who their ideal client is, and it's not just going to be everybody. And if you see your client having trouble figuring out who they are and what they're doing and what their zone of genius is and how much they feel comfortable charging, then that means that your client has more mindset work to do. So stop pushing strategy on them and saying, it's just you need to be committed, you need to be all in, and you need to just go out there and do it. They're going to sabotage themselves, and you're setting them up for failure. So, and if you're not willing to do the mindset work as a coach, then fine, at least, help to refer them to somewhere where they can get that mindset work done. It's not, no client shaming. That means it's just more inner work has to be done, and that's okay. It's divine timing. You cannot force mindset. You have to go through the process. And when you are ready to release your old stories and let your ego stop being in the driver's seat, and you're ready to start making decisions from your heart and trusting that your heart's telling you the right thing, then you're ready to step into that role, and then you're ready to charge the higher prices. Some coaching packages that are high ticket are absolutely worth it. Like I'm telling you right now, I would absolutely, one of the coaches that I work with right now, one of my mentors, that I'm in her programs right now, she's a Tony Robbins Platinum Partner. She paid $100,000 to be one of those in that group. Hell yeah, I would do it. I think it's worth it. There are some, I would make the investment in myself over and over and over again. But it took me a long time, a lot of work to get to the point where I felt okay investing in myself. So back to mindset, I had to find a coach who was willing to work with me on mindset before strategy. Don't push me into my business before I don't even know who I am. So I had to do the work on mindset. I took courses, I read books, I listened to audios, I watched videos, I worked with coaches on mindset. Rather than, for a while, I worked with coaches on strategy, and I kept on procrastinating, and I kept on not doing the work, and I kept on changing my mind, and I kept on doing, all the things that weren't going to move my business forward. I was busy, but I wasn't working on the right things. Why? And I would frustrate my coaches. But some of my coaches, their mindset work was not their jam. I was not their ideal client, as it turned out. I had to walk away and break the relationship because I wasn't that ideal client. They were at a different space in their coaching where they were coaching higher, really people who have gone through the mindset work. They knew they got this. They already started to do their business. They had their momentum, but they needed to get their next level of momentum. So they were like, that's like me. They weren't that close to where I was in the journey. That's like a third grader and a fourth grader. One of my previous coaches used to say that, like, when you're a third grader, you look up to the fourth grader. The fourth grader is the one to kind of lead you and mentor you because they remember what it was like to be in third grade not that long ago. Where if you were a third grader looking to learn lessons about school from a sixth grader, that's kind of, intimidating because they're much older, they're at a way different space in their development, and their mindset's in a totally different place. And I feel that's the same way about coaches. Find your fourth grader as a coach, and coaches, find your third grader as your ideal client. You don't have to overthink it. Just somebody who is on the journey at the space just where you used to be pretty recently. And that will be your zone of genius. That's the people you can really help transform because you've been there not long ago. Or rather than try to hire somebody who's at a way higher point and they're coaching people who have already, done their business. They've already found the soulmate. They've already done the things. And now they're coaching. And they don't want to do that early mindset work. That's not where they're at. And that's okay. Just know yourself. Like this whole journey is about knowing yourself and about knowing who you're serving. And as coaches, knowing who you want to serve. Who is your ideal client? If you don't want to do that mindset work with people, then make sure in your interview process, your discovery calls, you're asking the questions. Yeah, there are going to be some people who say, yeah, coach, I'm ready. I'm going to crush this. I'm going to get out there. I'm going to do it. And then they don't. And they procrastinate and they doubt themselves and they don't do it. That means more mindset work needs to be done. And that's okay. Doesn't mean you're a shitty coach or anything. That just means that person has more mindset work to do. And if you're not going to be willing to do it and you're still going to try to push them into a high ticket package or something like that, then, you're doing yourself and them a disservice. So be willing to be flexible. So for me, I love to coach both mindset and business. But I'm okay with having to go back and say, let's start with where you're at. Let's start with where you feel, not stay in your comfort zone so it holds you back and keeps you small, but let's move a little bit forward. We don't have to take a huge leap, move a little bit forward. Just do that one foot in front of the other kind of approach, so that if you're wanting to meet your soulmate, if you're wanting to build a business, if you're wanting to, get healthier, right? Then there's always your right next move, and it doesn't have to be this big leap. So the answer to this, do coaches charge too much? I think some of them do. Some of them absolutely do. And it's great to know your worth. Queens, put on your crown, straighten up the crown and rock it. Absolutely. But it's okay to start at the beginning of the journey and either get yourself out there is the key. Getting yourself an audience, getting yourself exposure, helping people, and just serving and building your confidence. Sometimes that means doing it for free. Sometimes that means really charging a lower price so you can really build that confidence and really get people results, and you have your testimonials, and you get to know who your ideal client really is before you market yourself as a certain brand and all this stuff, and it's really not aligned with you. It's okay, right? So, which reminds me, starting in 2019, I am going to actually come out with a new coaching package. I have some that are on the higher end, and I'm going to have some that are on the lower end, so I can really help all different people from all walks on their journey, because I think that people still need to get that help. Sometimes you need to change your money mindset. Well, sometimes you can't afford to pay the higher end packages because you need help with your money mindset. So you need a coach to be able to work with you. And sometimes that means just investing at a lower level, because that's what you can do right now. And that's okay. Doesn't mean, I've heard people say, well, if people don't pay more, then they're not as willing, they're not as invested in it, they have no skin in the game, and they're not going to really care about getting results and doing the work. I guess that's true in some cases. There's always, every kind of scenario possibility, but I think absolutely there are more than enough people who want to do the work so badly, but they just aren't able to invest at a higher level right now, and they need that help to get that first breakthrough. And they deserve to have the help, okay? And the coaches, we can put ourselves out there and we can do this and not worry about, well, God, I have to meet my $500,000 a month mark, so shit. And there's nothing wrong with money, you guys. I'm not saying anything about, not knowing your worth or not charging money for your services, because your time and your zone of genius is worth something, and that's okay to charge it. It isn't about not charging because we have to do everything pro bono, because if we're spiritual or if we're coaches or if we're service-based servant leadership, we have to do it and not earn an income. Not true. I believe it's absolutely possible to have it all and help people in a meaningful way, live your passion, and still make a really healthy income that can set you free. Why the hell not? Why the hell not, right? Why not be able to do all the things? And now in 2018 and beyond, there's no better time to build a business just like this. It's absolutely the right time. So go for it. But it's okay if in the beginning, you've got to start somewhere. And coaches, I think, need to understand that sometimes and do better work with clients on this. And clients need to know that, not feel bad about where they're at, right? And so, yeah, so absolutely. I just had a message pop in front of me. I got to clear that one. So yeah, so you can absolutely find a coach and find that place that meets what you need. And I think more of the really kind of more affordable programs need to be put out there, for sure. There are so many people who could benefit from coaching. It's such a beautiful profession, and it's such good work, and it's so transformative that it should be available to all people, in my opinion. So if that's something you're called to do, go for it. Do it. Do a sliding scale. Do scholarships. Do a lower ticket program, and do your high ticket programs. When you get kick-ass results for people, and you want to coach people who have done the work and they've done the low ticket and they're ready for that next step, do it. go ahead and know that you're worthy of charging whatever it is. Know that you're worthy of making the income you want to make, but have the patience to go through the process. And don't worry about what other people say, what other people think. Just give yourself the space and the patience to go through the process. And even if that means going through a lower ticket program in the beginning, or really trying to find a coach that is willing to work with you and ask questions. Maybe coach is doing some work at a lower price. It's okay. I think more of that would be a really beautiful thing. So that's my opinion on that. And I know it's not going to resonate with everybody. And I know that money mindset coaches may be looking at me right now going, really? But I totally believe this. I think people can start somewhere and they can develop a kick-ass, rock-solid money mindset, but it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. So it's okay to just take action, even if you're not in that rock-solid money mindset place, even if yet you're still working on knowing your worth, even if you're still working on knowing what your zone of genius is, even if you're still working on knowing who your ideal client is, even if you're still working on being able to start that business. The key is to just start. That's just it. It's just to start. And sometimes it's okay if we're doing the work at the same time as we're taking action, and doing action that feels right and aligned with our soul. Not because somebody says it's what you're supposed to do or says that you're wrong if you do something else. I don't believe in marketing on a scarcity mindset. I don't believe in marketing to people and pushing their fear buttons of not good enough. No effing way. If I have to do that to get clients, then I think there's some mindset work for me to do. I just wouldn't do it. So I wouldn't encourage my clients to do it either. Okay, maybe it works. It sure as hell works. It works for all the big corporations out there, and it works for a lot of coaches, and it works for a lot of network marketers, and it works for a lot of marketers. But it's just, I think, the future is going to be in transparency, and it's going to be heart-based. I don't care what the hell people say. They can totally argue with me. I think it just is it's going to be the way. It's going to be what people want, what people need, and what people deserve. So do what's in alignment. Do what's in alignment. And if it feels out of alignment and you have resistance, there's a reason for that, and trust that your resistance is coming from somewhere. Either it's out of alignment or your old story is a little bit stronger than you think right now, and you need to do more work on your old story. And so you may have to readjust your strategy while you're doing work on your old story. All right, so that's it. I think you get the gist, my friends. So with that, I'm going to say join me in my private Facebook group, Soul Aligned Life. We are going to be wrapping up a book study in a couple of weeks and going into something for December. I'm gonna do something fun, maybe a year-end wrap-up, getting ready for 2019. We'll see. But come on in, because we're going to talk about how to really live from your heart space and how to develop that confidence that truly comes from within, not what somebody else thinks you should be confident about or how you should feel. It's about how to get back in touch with your heart and soul and your own voice, and really just live from that place, because you all deserve to have soul-aligned confidence. And if you want to know more about my coaching packages for 2019, if for my higher end or my lower end packages, whatever it is, just private message me, because I'm going to help people who are ready to make a change. They know they're having trouble getting out of their own way. They know that they're, like I've said before, smiling on the outside but screaming on the inside, or they feel like crying every single day, but they don't know why, and they don't know quite what to do about it, but they know they're not living their most fulfilling life. They know there's more to life, and they know that they're sick and tired of being sick and tired, but they don't know what to do next. So that's where I can help you. All right. So that's what we're going to do next year. So with that, like I said, my group is Soul Aligned Life. If you want to receive emails from me with a daily card reading from the Archangels, go to jenrapinian.com and put your name and email in, and you can get that. I'm also going to be releasing information about my packages, as we go along to my email subscriber list too, because they always get the details usually first. So anyways, with that, lots of love to you guys. Many blessings, love and light. Trust your intuition. And that's another thing I'm going to help you do in my Soul Aligned Life and in my coaching, is to help you get back in touch with that still small voice, that intuition, that divine guidance that is accessible to every single one of us. And sometimes we get disconnected from that, but you can get right back to it. I promise you, no matter what kind of, hot mess you think you're in right now, it's time to jump off the Hot Mess Express. Let's jump off the Hot Mess Express in 2019, all right? And try to, really live a life that you're meant to live, because it's possible. All right, lots of love to you guys. I'll talk to you soon.